Hey everyone, welcome to How Ines Rolls. I am going to be making an easy dinner that I know my family will love, and I think you'll love it too. Let's get started. This recipe is called cheesy taco pasta. We love tacos, we love pasta. So I think it's gonna be a match made in heaven for this recipe and our family. So you can see I have some of the ingredients back here. I had mostly everything from the petite diced tomatoes, the taco seasoning. The only thing that I didn't have was the cream corn. I even had cream cheese in my refrigerator. So I will link the recipe below. It's from Scarlett over at MadeItAteItLovedIt. She makes the best recipes. So if you're not following her on Instagram, she does show great step-by-step tutorials as well. And she's like the queen of parties. So a little more info about her. So first I'm going to do is get ready and make some pasta. So not only am I going to use a bag of pasta, but I'm going to be using gluten-free pasta. And we love Trader Joe's brown rice pasta. So this way Paul can eat it. Now Paul is doing gluten-free as a preference, not because he has to do it. So that way we can all eat it too, and it is so good. So let me get the water going, and then I'm going to show you how I'm going to do my enchilada sauce. So I am going to be making some enchilada sauce. I'll need about a cup for this recipe. And so this is my favorite enchilada sauce. And I've tried a few different ones, but the reason I like making it just from this powder is because it says like you add water and tomato sauce, and I always add chicken broth. So I have my bouillon, and I've made a cup and a half. And so I'll add in my tomato sauce and my packet, and we'll be ready to go. So you can see it's starting to come together. We're just gonna bring it to a light boil, and then I'm just gonna turn it off, let it cool down a little bit, because I'll be scooping it with a 1 cup measuring cup. Okay, so I have my pasta starting to go for a boil. I'm gonna cook it for 10 minutes, and then I have my sauce still simmering down, just trying to get it cool. And now let's see what else I can prep before we start getting everything going. Okay, so I was able to get some cheeses grated and ready to go. And so now I'm starting to cook my ground beef. Lucky I have a meat masher, so thanks Danny Lynn. My cheeses I have are medium cheddar and Monterey Jack. Now the recipe calls for the pepper jack cheese. I'm not a fan of having things too spicy because we're already gonna be adding some other ingredients that'll make it a little bit more spicy. So we're gonna cool it down with some of these cheeses, right? So let me just get this cooked in, and I'll show you what the next step is. So while this is mostly browned, I'm gonna start adding my chopped onions. Now you can chop an onion up if you'd like. I prefer the dehydrated route. So we are going to let that go, and then pretty soon we're gonna start adding all the canned ingredients. All right, the meat is ready for the rest of the ingredients. So to that, we're going to add a can of creamed corn, some green chilies, some diced tomatoes. We're also going to put in a tablespoon of this taco seasoning and a cup of that enchilada sauce. And I'm also going to turn this down to a simmer, in which we will let it simmer for about 10 minutes. So this enchilada sauce makes about 2 cups. So when this comes to a cool, I will put this in a labeled freezer bag and keep it in my back freezer. Ooh, this is looking so good. The smells are yummy, 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 and I can't wait to start adding the cheese. All right, so it's been simmering for about 10 minutes or so. So we're gonna start adding the cheeses and get that all mixed in. So I got 3/4 of a cup of my cheddar, and then a 1/2 cup of the Monterey Jack. So we're gonna do that. And then we're adding, here's the kicker, friends. We're gonna do a 1/2 of a block of cream cheese. So you can kind of see I cut them into smaller pieces. That's on purpose so that we can get these to melt in there a lot faster. So let's get this gooiness going. Yeah, So now I have this rich, kind of creamy sauce that's ready to go with the noodles. But let's talk about some freezer meal options. So what you could do is just let that cool down, put it in a freezer bag, label it, and say cheesy taco pasta, add the pasta, right? And then add a little bit more cheese on top. And I'm gonna be doing that in a minute here. Or you could just put it in a foil pan, put all the ingredients in like this. Okay, so we're gonna add our pasta to this. And in a couple seconds here, I'm going to put some cheese on this and let it naturally melt. But this is where you could pour this into an aluminum pan that you can put into the freezer. Let it cool down, put the cheese on top, and then just kind of let it thaw out overnight, bake at 350, just until the cheese is melted and it's cooked through. Maybe 30 minutes, 20 minutes at 350 degrees. So you want to get, like, if you want to do this ahead of time, you want to take a meal over to somebody who needs it. This would be a very yummy homemade version of actually what looks like a chili mac. It's so funny. Okay, so let me finish what I'm doing here. And just get it all mixed in. Oh man, this looks so good. Hey, Ezzy, you want to taste this? You want to be my taste tester?
Yes.
He's already telling me he's hungry for dinner. All right, hey Ez.
Hello.
It's not hot, not too bad. Is that good? Okay, so I just took a courtesy bite myself. Thank you, buddy. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt. Now I'm gonna try it again. So good. Now we're gonna put some more of this cheese on top, and then we're just gonna naturally let it melt. Now, if this is something that is probably too much for your family because maybe there's only 2 or 3 people in your family, you can easily just put this, half of it, into the freezer and save it for another meal. Perfection. So I have the lid here, but let me bring you up close before I put the lid on. Yes, it made a perfect amount of sauce. That is looking super, super good. Can't wait to start having it for dinner. Now, the way that I think I would put it into the freezer is just by making the sauce, because a lot of times pasta do absorb more of that sauce and might leave it a little on the drier side. So after some thought, I think I'd put that sauce in a baggie, label it, add pasta, and then just add all the cheeses that you need into that ahead of time. So all they have to do is just add the pasta. Easy peasy, right? And ultra delicious. So we're just gonna wait for Paul now. Okay, it is now time to dish up. So I have here 6 bowls because one of them is a glass one that I use for Paul's lunches. So that way he has lunch for tomorrow. So let me get these dished up and taken to the table, and we'll see how everybody likes dinner. Okay, so we are trying this dinner out. This is the first time for them. These are gluten-free noodles, so Paul will be able to eat it. What do you guys think?
I think it's good.
Doesn't it kind of seem like like the old chili macs? But it's a homemade, creamier, yummier version of it, of course.
Kind of tastes like nachos, but with noodles.
It's called cheesy taco pasta. So what do you think, Ezzy B?
It's good.
It's good? How about you, Jonas?
I mixed emotions on it.
Mixed emotions? What does that mean?
Between love and like.
It's good. Oh. Everybody loved it. It was so good. You guys, the only thing that I would suggest is adding some salt and pepper to it to your taste. So thanks so much for stopping by the channel. I will link the recipe down below from Made It, Ate It, Loved It. And I'm so glad that you're here. Have I ever told you that? Thank you so much for allowing me to be in your lives. I'm grateful to all of the rollers, so stick around because you just never know what I'll be rolling out next. Bye, everyone.